Hello, welcome to this another edition of the interview presented by the BCH, that is the Balondo Cultural Heritage. And of course, we are talking about identity and the cultural patrimony of every tribe, every nation, every state matters a lot to the people. And today we'll be focusing on who is a Balondo man and what is the identity. And that is why today we shall be focusing on the key values and the key principles and the key cultural heritage of the Balondo man. And with me here is a Balondo scholar, Dr.AJA, who is with me to talk about the Balondo person. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to come here and reach out to the world to let them know and understand properly who is the Morondo or the Balondo person.
All right. Let's now go into details now. The very first question I have for you today is, who is a Balondo man? Who is supposed to be referred as Balondo?
Well, the Balondo individual is a person whose ancestors inhabited the Nyanga and Lower Pula rivers in the Democratic Republic of Congo. So naturally, the Balondo man or person evolved in a natural environment in the Congo. According to our elders, they were created by Oaseloba in a legendary pool in the wilderness of the Congo called Morimo, which now, when compounded with Ndongore, gives us the creationist philosophy of Ndongore. So Morimo highlights the Balondo people's existence on land, while Ndongore highlights their metaphysical existence in the oceans. So actually, the Balondo man, a person, is a Congolese person in origin, originally, before he was a Cameroonian or a full Balondo in Nigerian. The most important description of Balondo is buried in the proclamation, Morondo Arondi, Ayo Mariwa, Ayo Mukondo. Morondo is a whole person who straddles two worlds, land and sea.
All right. Let's now talk about the Balondo people, because that's what we're talking about. Are there Balondo people outside of Cameroon?
Yes, of course. Their presence is detectable in Congo, their natural environment. Probably around the Lumumbashi area. I'm still investigating. In the 1100s, they also migrated to Akwa, which is Calabar today, and later on they had to relocate to Cameroon, but their brothers who did not relocate stayed behind. You see, what happened was when they got to Calabar, they named their neighbors at the time, the Effiks, by Ire, and the city called Calabar today, Ire. And so those Calabar people also called them Efot. So when they relocated, they still maintained their Balondo name, while their siblings who were left behind added Efot to their name to come up with Efot Balondo. So yes, there are Balondos outside of Cameroon, Congo, and Calabar, Nigeria.
Is Balondo actually a civilization?
Yes, it is a civilization. The proof is that when you look at World Classifications of Civilizations, Wikipedia, we are listed in section B as a civilization. There is no other West African tribe there. We are just a step down from Egyptian civilization and so forth and so forth. And as a civilization, it has a distinctive historical timeline which details settlement patterns, migrations, and the people, their cultural values. Everything is well documented. The other issue to address with regards to Balondo being a civilization, that it influenced, most super cultures do influence others. We shared Ekpang, Matamu, Rokombe with Efix. We shared Ekpang, Gomoya Veturi, Malay, Nganya with Bakweri. We shared Ekber with Matamu, Ekber with the Bayang. And when we shared those values, we were always seen as a cultural frame of reference. And we also gave West Africans the long white shirt over the rapa, which Cameroonians call sanja. It is not sanja. It is a sanja. Finally, as a civilization, there is a Balondo geographically recognizable region, which is semicircle in shape, with distinguishable boundaries shared with other Cameroonians and Nigerians. And finally, Balondo has a worldview like most civilizations. Its worldview or cosmology is secular, and it also has 3 philosophical orientation: creationism, Mephism, and Mamoism. As you can see, it has all the ingredients of a civilization.
Okay, that's actually amazing. Are the Oroko people your people?
I don't think so. And anybody who says Balondo is Oroko must be hallucinating. No, they are not. I know them to be dwellers of the Rumpi, Kupe, Manenguba hills, and some of them are landlocked. They are not on the hills. There is absolutely no relationship, cultural ties between Balondo and Oroko. Oroko is just an invention. Balondo has been around for thousands of years. So how can you compare Balondo to some crap that was made up in 1973? No, they are not Balondo. They are not my people.
All right, and from your admission, you're telling me that Oroko is not a tribe.
Yeah, it's not. It's not a tribe at all. Tribes evolve naturally in a natural environment, and without mincing words, most tribes predate colonialism or colonization. But this Oroko thing was formed in 1973 in Kumba. How can a handful of people form a tribe in another man's land? That is ridiculous. It's very shameful to go about and say this is a tribe. The architects of these, what I would call a football club, were Benjamin Itwe, Mbile, Mwale Penja, Obie, and Ngrime and Kemba. These are all Balwe, Ngolo, and maybe 2 Bakundu people. And to show that it's not a tribe, I have one young man here who is following me on Facebook. His name is Mutuba Wakenji Nanginya 1 Wabakundu. This is what he had to say. We have been brainwashed by the Indian tribes like Ngolo, Balwe, Batanga to believe that we came from one ancestry. That is why they came up with the idea of Oroko. But this is not true, and it does not tie us with them, quote and unquote.
Okay, and so if you're saying that Oroko is not a tribe, what should we call them?
Well, they should tell you who they are. I don't know why they are ashamed to use their names. They were previously, my people conquered and dominated them culturally and made them answer Balondo, put in better perspective, Balondo perspective. But for Balondo, they used our name for 300 years and then rebelled in 73 to come out with Oroko. It's not a tribe, based on what that young man, Mr. Wakenji, said. Second of all, they are trying to create a tribe by borrowing, claiming cultural values that don't belong to Ngolo, Balwe, or Bakundu. They say they are Sawa, they say they are Bakwere, they say they are Balondo. These people are so confused. I don't know what they think they are doing. I don't know why they are not ashamed to propagate such myth. The other thing is they made up a history called the making of Oroko. They have their true history, which I published in the Sun paper. When I posted it on OSA forum, they deleted it. Then they blocked me. They have their true history, which is raggedy. It doesn't mean much. And in that, the making of Oroko, they have a video. They've put out a video which is shown more often, in which they stole my Nganda in my mother's village or hometown, which is my, profile photo in Balondo Bakonja Forum. They took it and pasted it there. The other thing they did was say that they spread their influence all across the oceans. What influences were they spreading across the oceans? They should say they spread their influences across the hills of Rumpi, Manenguba. They are not maritime-based people. They are 7,000 feet above sea level. And the people that they are claiming are coastal and 100 miles away from their locations. So actually, they should retract that statement. And then by claiming Dongore, which is the highest, most revered Balondo metaphysical entity, they are making fools of themselves, because every Balondo town has Ndiva, which links up to Ndongora, which is the deepest underwater chamber. And our people go there once a year to meet and deliberate on Balondo cultural affairs. No membership is granted to any other tribe in the world except a foot Balondo. So even though these people go around claiming Ndongore, I think the world should see them as cultural kleptomaniacs.
All right. So are there any Balondo people who support Oroko?
Yes, of course. There are Balondo people who support Oroko out of ignorance, some out of personal interest, some out of biological reasons. The first one is Harry Beseka. Harry Beseka, mother was from Bole Bakundu. He dropped something in the Balondo Cultural Development Forum, stating that Balondo evolved from Balwe. When I questioned that and asked him to explain, he got upset. But that is ridiculous. It is very insulting. I don't want to, I get very emotional when you're trying to compare nothing to something. And there is Kenneth Nanji. This man, he's confused. He's a Balondo man, sample son, 100%. But I don't understand what is wrong with him. He is a victim of, conflict. And yet, he's supporting, I don't want to name names, but his reason appears to be political because he's one of his moyos or in-laws is a political figure. Then you have Tata Nanji, who claims to be a historian. His father is from Bamenda, allegedly, and his mother is from Ilo, Balondo. But his loyalty to his heritage is shaky. And then you have Sama Nebengu, who claims to be a historian. He's 100% Balondo, but has written a dissertation that credits Balwe Angolo, his mentors, to have been the one who developed and discovered Balondo homelands. And I'm asking you, if they develop if they discovered and developed Balondo homelands, why didn't they settle there? Why are they hanging on the hills? And the final one is the chief of Mbongo. He is married to a Ngolo woman, has kids with her, and now he is also supporting them. So the people supporting Oroko do so for selfish reasons.
Okay, and now you made from your permissions and your admissions here, it means it's a cultural trespass to grab land from Balondo.
It is a land grabbing. I spoke with one of my international scholars and discussed this at length with him. I wouldn't mention his name. It's very, very sophisticated. He told me, Aja, it's a land grab thing. These people don't have land, they don't have fertile lands, they don't have creeks, rivers, and oceans. They are envious of us. That is why in that day video, they were saying, a condo titi is Oroko cosmopolitan. What the heck is that? A condo titi? No, a condo titi is not Oroko cosmopolitan. It is Dikome Balwe, it is Mondemba, it is Mbonge, it is Mato, it is Boa Bakundu. I've told these people not to claim us. They are building a ideological metaphysical empire on the backs, sweat and toil of my ancestors. Their ancestors and even the younger generation never settled in their village. They were found all over the place, plantation, cocoa farms, palm plantations, and so forth. Some are found in Marwa right now selling planting yam. Some are found in Kribi. I don't hate them. I am saying they should leave us alone to express our uniqueness. We are a unique civilization in Cameroon. We are a unique people inhabiting the southwest coastal region of Cameroon. We do not need any interference in our culture. We are self-sufficient. We have never gone to Dikomebalwe to settle. But we have granted them citizenship and, Dibonda, Ekondonene, Ekondotiti, and Kumbe. We allow them to settle with us, to live amongst us. We gave them the marshy areas, though, to settle. The people are ungrateful, and they should stay away from us.
All right. And how do you hope to stop Oroko from these unwarranted cultural trespasses?
Well, Oroko, like I say, it's like a football team. It's or like a cult. Uh-huh. That is out to do damage. But fortunately, the Republic of Cameroon is not only democratic, but has a good legal system where you can seek for redress. So I will go to the, first of all, I will go to the House of Southwest Chiefs, and then I will go to the lower courts, and then I will go to the territorial Ministry of Territorial Administration, and then I will go to the Supreme Court. BAFA cannot dominate or dictate to Konja. It will never happen. It never happened. The cultural pecking order is here to stay. There is no day that Ngolo and Balwe are going to distort Balondo phenomenology.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr.AJA Oru, for actually being very, very explicit on the identity of the Balondo person on BCH.
Thank you very much.
That was Dr.AJA Oru, a Balondo scholar, who of course is pinpointing and giving clear indications of who a Balondo man is and who an Oroko person is. Like I said, cultural patrimony is very important for a people to be identified. Thank you very much for watching.